Oh! Oh! Oh, it's not right. It's not quite there, but plugging it in. In amongst all of the repair pile that Paul recently handed over to me was this. And as you can see, he's amusingly labelled it. Now, when I came to have a look at this machine, I realised that I didn't have any way to power it. So as dead as it appears to be, I can't make it any more alive. But Paul's kindly sent over the power supply for this Commodore 128. Commodore 128 is a bit of a holy grail machine for me, so I'm quite happy to be looking at it. I'd quite like to own it, but that's not going to happen this time. This isn't mine. So this power supply arrived, and with its Super Mario themed plug, you should always check your plugs. The earth screw was missing, so it was just hanging around in here, so I've replaced it. Anyway, so that's not the problem end. Let's put this back on and I'll show you the problem end. The problem end is here. So that's not good. I've already taken all the screws out of this, so let's have a look inside. You can see that the strain relief has actually snapped away from this part of the plastic or the rubber. I'll have to make something that does a similar job. But everything seems to be in order. There's no burn marks or anything nasty going on in here. I've already checked. There's a fuse down there and there's a fuse here, and they are fine. So we'll pop it out, and if you look at that point there, in fact, look, you can see it's not even vaguely attached. So the first job is to make this safe and make sure that there's some electrical connectivity going on here, because that's not going to work. And I'm hoping that this is well, kind of hoping that there might be a problem with the machine, but we'll have a look at the machine as well in a minute. So I'm not entirely sure whether that pad is missing now, so I'm going to take the solder out and see what's under there. Yes, some of the pad is missing. It's actually broken away, but the top half, it's the bottom half that's missing down here, but the top half is there, and there's a trace that runs through there. So I'm going to just take a blade, take some of this solder mask off so that I can make a bigger joint for this to grip onto. So that's the neutral, which is that one. And the earth is here. I think the best I can do with this is a cable tie. Unless I put that on the inside, that's a good idea. Don't try this at home. Flush cutters are not the ideal tool for this. Should really be using side cutters, because they're not so sharp. You can accidentally nick the insulation. But I'm in a do as I say, not as I do mood at the moment. Yeah, that'll do. It's not going to go anywhere. Ah, the top half's not going to fit over it. I'm probably going to have to do that on the other side as well, aren't I? There we go. Okay, that'll go on. Let's finish putting it back together. Yeah, that's got it. Is some magic smoke going to come out? Okay, nothing blew up. Right, the voltages don't seem right, so I'm just gonna have a look inside and check things over. Not a fan of repairing power supplies. I don't like voltages that can hurt you. Prefer logic voltages is about as far as I will go. Don't try this at home. It's plugged in and it's switched on for the 5 volts here. I've reflowed a bit of it, but I'm not sure if that's fixed it or not. We have 5 volts there, and if I go to AC, we have 10 volts there, which is perfect. So either I'm measuring the wrong points on this plug, or this lead is broken somewhere. So I'm going to check through continuity on this lead and find out exactly which plugs are, which pins are which somehow. That's -5. That's +5. That's ground. Now I can put it back together and actually test it properly, because I wasn't testing between those 2 points and I wasn't testing between those 2 points. I basically didn't know what I was doing, but who does? There we go, 10.1 volts. And if I go down to there, and between these 2 points we get lovely DC. There we go, 5 volts. Spot on 5 volts. Right, maybe we should plug it in. See what explodes. Okay, so when I switch it on, absolutely nothing happens. And, I've got my new thermal camera ready to go. There's me. Yay! Okay. So there's nothing going on in here. The bright points that you can see are just reflections. That's actually the can at the back over the modulator, and you can see my hand is substantially warmer than anything else in here. Now the only thing that's slightly warm, I think that's the SID chip over there. Let's give that a quick clean. 6581, yeah, so that's getting warm because there's 12 volts but no 5 volts on the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that out. When I say it's getting warm, it's only marginally warmer than the ambient temperature of the board. Okay, so if I switch it on now, there's no activity. So we're over on the side where all the ROMs are. Take it they're ROMs. I really don't know my way around the inside of this yet. There's nothing on any of the memory chips. All of this logic over here. It's just no activity at all. But if I come over here, the only thing that's marginally warmer is that point there. And that is the switch. Right, so clean the socket out, and now when I test over here, I get a very nice 5.01 volts. So the socket was dirty, but does that mean that this is going to be working? So let's switch it on. And we have chips that are warming up. What sort of temperatures? Normal sorts of temperatures. This, why is that back of that switch getting hot? Yeah, we got a dirty switch, so let's clean the switch out as well. It's not the sort of thing I would ever have spotted before. Not sure exactly how to get into this. I'm hoping just pure weight of contact cleaner will work its way in there. But if not, I can just take this switch off and give it a clean, take it apart, give it a clean. Right, here we go. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Oh! Oh! Oh, it's not right. It's not quite there, but yeah, this is this switch. The display brightness is changing there when I mess around with it. Let's have a look, see if I'm getting any more heat. There's definitely less heat in there. Right, now that I've got that out, this is interesting. There's a couple of things that I need to show you on this board. Well, the first is over here in amongst the RAM. The chip that came up on dead test as faulty with, I think it was 3 flashes, is U43. So U43 or U51. And I'm pretty sure dead test only deals with these ones. All of these other chips here are all dated 8508, 8508, 8508. All of them. Every single chip except for this one, which is 8526. And if you look at the legs on U43, there. If you look at the legs, especially along this side, there's a little bit of solder blobbiness. It doesn't look quite right. I should really have spotted that in the first instance. So if we have a look on the other side of the board, right there is U43. So all of these pins here and all of these pins here have been reworked and they don't look great, and they're all U43. So that's been a problem. Something else on the back here is over this side of the board, it looks a bit grotty all along. These are all capacitors on the other side of these joystick ports, all EMI capacitors. They're all marked EMI, same for the keyboard, and all around those is some grottiness all around here, and it goes around here and it ends up all around this area as well. But so I need to do I need to do a couple of things here. I need to remove the power switch over here and clean that inside. Right, the first thing to fix is the power switch, and I've got one here ready to go in there. I've refurbished this one, and but I can just quickly show what's going on. So the switch is in the off position at the moment, so there shouldn't be any continuity there at all, and there isn't. And in the on position, nothing. It's pretty reasonable on that side. That's not too bad. It's still a bit grubby, but this side there's just absolutely nothing there. So let's whip that out and put this one in. Usually these come out really easy for me. No, oh no. I thought it had fallen out. There we go. Exactly the same. Should be open circuit. Now, perfect. Perfect. So that should be a bit more reliable now. Now I've got a good power supply and it's not flaking out anymore. I'm getting consistent, if I can use the reset button to get this screen. So consistent results is going to be a much easier thing to diagnose. And U43 is now staring me at the face. Dead test, switch it on. Dead test does this. So 3 flashes. And we look at the chart, the C128, all revisions, 3 flashes, it says U43/U51. So U43 is here, U51 is there. This is the one that has been replaced. It's different to the other chip. So I think we need to take that out and test it. Right, there's no damage to the board under there. I was a bit worried that the previous repairer had done some damage. Super short legs. Ooh. Hey. So I don't know if you can see that on. But the top 2 are red. This is good. Weird that the RAM chips are facing down. Is it fixed? Okay, let's just try switching it on. Oh, okay. Let's try putting some memory in there. Put it in the right way around. Which actually, I've just realised I was putting these in. I might have broken this chip. So I was trying the piggyback method. Adam Commodore lad had told me, and I hadn't realised that the chips were the wrong way around. So I was putting them on upside down. Make sure this one is okay. Yes, phew, didn't damage it. And I was a bit surprised that the piggyback method didn't work. Adam seems sure of himself. Okay, try again. Ah, that's better. I haven't got the Commodore 128 Diagnostics on a cartridge yet. I need to sort that out, but this will do for now. Excellent. Perfect. I'm pretty happy with that. Sid. Yes. So as far as the Commodore 64 side of it goes, that's a fully working machine. Excellent. Happy with that. The only thing left to do now is test the 128 side of things. I dug out a Versa 64 board from my projects to do stash and built it up, plugging in an EEPROM program with the Rev 588121 C128 Diagnostics. I did try using this EEPROM in my C64 Diagnostic cart, but for reasons beyond my understanding, I couldn't get that to work. The Versa 64 cart was created by the much cleverer than me Bwack. I'll leave a link in the description to his GitHub and YouTube channel. Now, a lot of this stuff is quite a bit over my head, and when I was looking for instructions to set this board up to work with the 128, I found a video by the excellent Matt over on RetroBitsTV. Again, I'll put a link in the description, but Matt made an excellent video that even an idiot like me could follow. I'll test this later with the full diagnostic harness. I need to create an adapter for the keyboard connector to use that properly, but for now I can make sure all the important stuff is working with my new cart. So let's plug it in and see if there's anything left to fix. Ready? This will take a while. Talk amongst yourselves. Not being too familiar with the C128 Diagnostics, I'm hoping the outstanding failures shown here are just to do with the missing harness. I feel pretty confident this is good to go. Stop. No. It's still broken. So after I wrapped up the episode in what you've just seen, I put the computer back together and I tested the keyboard, fully expecting it to be working perfectly, and it was not working perfectly. Let me show you. I did what I normally do and I went through all of the keys looking for one that wasn't working, and going through. Normally if you go through the top row and everything is working there, you're okay. Fine. Third row, A, D. Oh, D's not working. So when I hit D, I thought, okay, I've probably got some dirty contacts on the PCB on the keyboard. So I carried on. Oh no, D. Oh, sorry, S is not working, not D. D is working, F is not working. So they're kind of close together. So it might be a spill that's gone through the keyboard onto the PCB. G, H is not working. Okay, so now S, F and H all on that same row in the same sort of area. J, K, oh, okay, there's another one on this row. So now I'm thinking, well, maybe it's not the PCB, but it still could be corrosion. So the left bracket is not working, and equals is not working, return is working fine, space is working. The numpad, 0, period, return, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is not working, 5, 6 isn't working, 7, 8, 9, plus, minus, enter. Okay, so apart from the top row of keys, which I haven't touched yet, we've got some missing keys. So the next thing I did was strip the keyboard apart and clean it. I cleaned all of the graphite contacts on the PCB, and I cleaned all of the pads underneath the keys. This is the normal sort of thing I would do on a Commodore 64 keyboard. And I put it back together expecting it to completely work, or at least most of the keys that I treated to have worked. Sometimes you don't get it quite right the first time and you need a little bit of an extra clean on a couple of the pads or a couple of the graphite pads. But you know, you take it apart again and you give it a clean and it works again. But no, every key that was not working before was still not working. Oh dear, I thought. So the next thing I did was to inspect the motherboard on the Commodore 128 and trace the wires from the PCB on the keyboard into the motherboard, make sure there was continuity between all of those. Everything was fine into the motherboard, and checked the these weird capacitor things. I still don't know what they are on the Commodore 128 motherboard, and everything up to that point is fine, all the way up to the CIA. So the CIA over here is the problem. There's another one over here, and note that this one is oriented differently to this one. That nearly caught me out. First thing I did was to take out the CIA from here, put it over here and test the keyboard, and the keyboard worked. So all I've got to do now is pop a new CIA in here, because I've swapped them back again for the demonstration purposes. Take the CIA out, I salvaged one from a Commodore 64, put it in here, and then this machine is going to be fully working. So Parsley, you can carry on now. So my first C128 repair complete, and no dramas or terrible mistakes. I'm not counting the piggyback RAM thing. I'll put this back together and check the keyboard is all good and send it back to Paul. You might be seeing this machine up on his eBay account soon. For a first C128 repair, this was nice and straightforward, giving me a chance to get to know this special machine without too much headache. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye.